Georgia's coronavirus restrictions expire at midnight. Last time this order was set to expire earlier this month, Governor Kemp extended it. He has yet to say if he will do that once again. We'll find out. Now, some of the restrictions that could be lifted by tomorrow are a ban on gatherings of more than 50 people in public places. The order also calls for people that are considered high risk for the virus to shelter in place. That could also expire. The order allowed school boards to require face masks, enforce social distancing during athletic, musical, or other educational activities, while also reducing class sizes. And lastly, Governor Kemp's executive orders shut down local masks and that mandate that were more restrictive than the state's rules. And with Georgia reporting more than 4,000 new COVID-19 cases today, the state is preparing to handle surge capacity from local hospitals. The Georgia World Congress Center will be able to house 60 patients beginning on Monday, but they can add more based on need. The total capacity is 120 beds. The governor's office announced it would reactivate the surge capacity site at the Convention Center earlier this month, the World Congress Center. That after the state saw a rise in COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations.